Hi, so I'm doing this video because I have learned quite a humbling lesson, and perhaps by sharing my experience, it could help you too. So it has been said that we teach what we most need to learn. And this certainly is the case for me. So as a health practitioner, a professional speaker on wellness and resilience and performance in the workplace, for me, helping others and helping myself manage high energy levels is critical. And to be honest, it's been a while, several months, where I've just known that my energy levels have not quite been right. And I've been thinking that's around my sleep because I struggle with sleep. But even when I have a good night's rest, perhaps even a few, I still had the sense of like wading through treacle on some days and just knowing something wasn't quite right. I decided to actually go and do some blood tests, thinking maybe I have iron deficiency because I'm a part-time vegetarian. I don't eat much meat, and I have in the past had low iron levels. Fortunately, though, when I did see my doctor, and I saw a doctor who practices functional medicine. Now, functional medicine is where there's an approach that is more holistic. So the health practitioner, be it the doctor, the GP, it could be a physiotherapist, a dietitian, a nutritionist, a chiropractor, will ask you more questions and spend more time with you and treat you as a whole person. So what my doctor did was some blood tests, and I got the results yesterday. And this sheet of paper was really, really surprising because I don't have low iron levels. In fact, my iron levels are perfect. What I do have, though, is megaloblastic anemia. If that sounds like I just swore at you, I didn't. But it's quite a cool word. Like if you're ever angry, to shout out megaloblastic really loud could release some tension. So mega means big, and blastic refers to shape, and anemia refers to the blood. So megaloblastic anemia is what we get when the red blood cells enlarge and distort in shape. They become bigger so that they try and capture more, in this case, vitamin B, specifically vitamin B12 and folate, which I clearly am not getting enough of. So my red blood cells have been enlarged, and then what happens is they're just a little bit more sluggish. They potentially struggle to get out of the bone marrow, and so you can imagine what happens when your blood, or your red blood cells that carry the iron and the oxygen that make you feel like you have energy and you can breathe, I mean, it's really going to make you feel quite sluggish and tired. And so that explains the fatigue I've been feeling. What it also does is it makes or could cause your heart to beat faster to help with the blood flow. And that is exactly what I was experiencing at night when I'm finally resting. I'd have this sense of like heart palpitations, almost as if I was panicking, but I wasn't feeling stressed. So it's such a relief when you can know that and sense that something might not be right in your body, and then get feedback as to what you could potentially work on. I've certainly been in a position where I haven't known what's wrong, but knowing that something's wrong. So in this case, it's a relief. But the big lesson is that 5 years ago, I did nutrigenomic testing. So there's tests out there, and this is fascinating. If you're really into your health and you want to really refine your approach, I'd highly recommend genetic-based testing. You get providers like DNA Life or 23andMe. And I got the feedback 5 years ago that I potentially need more vitamin B12 and folate because of a particular metabolic pathway that doesn't work that well. I won't go into that. It's MTHFR. So I knew that. And for 2 years after that, I took a high-dose vitamin B. But since leaving South Africa and moving to the UK, I kind of let that drop. And so over the past 18 months, I haven't been taking a vitamin B. And over the past 18 months, what has happened is I've developed this megaloblastic anemia. So what am I saying to you? Several things. Don't give up your health for wealth. If you're feeling something isn't right, speak to somebody. Ideally, if you speak to somebody, let them take a holistic approach. So search on Google for a functional practitioner in your area, or ask around, or contact me, and potentially I'll be able to point you in the right directions. There are functional medicine associations, and you can contact them to find the right kind of person for you. And then it helps because even me knowing my history, teaching this stuff every day, I was able to let something quite important slip. And then I had to have it reflected back to me with some measurables. So this is also key. Don't just try like a shotgun approach. Like, oh, that's a horrible example. Don't just try like spray and pray, like spread out a bunch of stuff and hoping that it lands in the right place. Like, as much as possible, speak to somebody. Speak about your own family history, your lifestyle, yourself as a whole, your journey, and then do some blood tests. I also discovered that my vitamin D levels are like seriously low. I mean, she put me on 5,000 international units a day for 2 months, which is a lot. And what we're going to do is test again in a month or two. So the idea is not just to take supplements, because often we do need more nutrients than our food can provide. And that's a whole different conversation. That's related to genetics, yes, like we've mentioned, but lifestyle and environment and stress for sure. So then don't just take any brand. Make an informed choice. Get the right kind of supplement for you and test again. Sure, this costs money, but it also costs money when you can't get through a day or you're not sleeping well and you're ratty and you're emotional and it impacts your relationships and your whole general joie de vivre. I mean, what is the cost associated to that? So that's my story. If you've had a similar experience, please share. I mean, we're just all human, having a human experience. And if you have any questions, if I can help you, I'd love to. This really is this journey to well-being and just feeling good and managing our own personal blueprints around health is one that we shouldn't do alone. And collectively, we can help one another, especially through sharing our experiences. So if you've been feeling sluggish, maybe had a heartbeat that races at night, it could be related to other things, but it could potentially be something like an anemia that is very treatable with the right kind of dietary approach, lifestyle change, or maybe some supplements. Have an awesome day. May you have loads of energy to get done all the things that you desire, with enough energy to spend time with loved ones or with yourself and connect, because life is about balance, about celebration, connection, community, and stay curious. Ask questions. Don't accept the status quo.